This Reddit story made me uncomfortable. Before I tell you this story, I need you to do something for me. Stop whatever you're doing right now and just listen. Not to me. To your surroundings. To the ambient noise of your space. The hum of electronics. The distant traffic. The settling of your building. Your breathing. Notice how you've been filtering all of that out, how your brain just automatically removes it from your conscious awareness so you can focus on what's important. That's a survival mechanism. Your brain protecting you from sensory overload. But sometimes, that filter works too well. Sometimes it hides things you should be paying attention to. And by the time you notice, it's already too late. This is a story about noticing. About listening. About realizing that silence isn't empty and sound isn't always random. And about what happens when you start paying attention to something that doesn't want to be noticed. I found this story 3 weeks ago while going down a Reddit rabbit hole at 2 a.m. It was posted on a small subreddit for people who live alone. The kind of place where people share tips about cooking for one or dealing with loneliness or asking if it's normal to talk to yourself when nobody else is around. Mundane stuff. Harmless stuff. But this post was different. It had been up for less than an hour when I found it. The title was simple. Does anyone else you're tapping that's it? Just that question. And something about it made me click. Maybe it was the time of night. Maybe it was the fact that I was alone in my apartment and suddenly very aware of every little sound around me. Or maybe it was the number of comments already accumulating. Too many, too fast, all saying variations of the same thing. Yes. I hear it too. The post itself was longer. More detailed. And the more I read, the more my apartment seemed to get quieter around me. Like the space was holding its breath. Listening. Here's what it said, word for word, exactly as it was written. I've been living alone in this apartment for about 4 months now. Studio apartment, nothing fancy, but it's mine and I like it. Quiet building. Good neighbors who keep to themselves. No complaints. But about 2 weeks ago, I started noticing something weird. At first, I thought it was just the building settling or maybe pipes or something structural. You know how old buildings make noise. This place was built in the 1960s, so it's got character, as the landlord likes to say. But this sound is different. It's tapping. Like someone gently tapping their fingernail against wood. Tap. 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 3 taps. Always 3. Never more, never less. And here's the thing that's been bothering me. It only happens when I'm completely silent. I first noticed it about 2 weeks ago. I was reading a book, sitting on my couch, and everything was quiet. I wasn't playing music. My phone was on silent. I wasn't watching TV. Just pure silence except for the occasional car passing outside, and then I heard it. Tap. 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 So faint I almost missed it. I looked up from my book and listened. Nothing. I went back to reading. 5 minutes later, tap. 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 I put my book down and got up to investigate. Check the walls. Check the windows. Check the pipes under the sink. Nothing seemed loose or broken. No obvious source. I convinced myself it was just building noises and went back to my couch. But then I started noticing a pattern. It only happened when I was quiet. When I was doing something silent like reading or working on my laptop with headphones off or just sitting and thinking. The moment I made noise, talking or playing music or even just walking around, the tapping would stop. Or maybe it was always there and I just couldn't hear it over my own noise, I don't know. I started testing it, deliberately creating periods of silence to see if I could predict when it would happen. And I was right. Every single time I sat quietly for more than a few minutes, there it was. Tap, tap, tap. Always from somewhere in the apartment, but I could never pinpoint exactly where. Sometimes it sounded like it was coming from the wall behind my couch. Sometimes from near the window. Sometimes from the direction of my kitchenette. The location seemed to shift, but the pattern stayed the same. 3 taps. Always 3. I know this sounds paranoid, but I started keeping a log, writing down every time I heard it, the time of day, what I was doing, how long I'd been silent before it started. And that's when I noticed something that really freaked me out. It happens at the same time every day. 11:34 p.m., give or take a minute. That's when the tapping is most consistent, most clear. I can hear it during the day too, but it's faint. Background. Easy to dismiss. But at 11:34 p.m., it's loud enough that I can't ignore it anymore. Last night I decided to do something different. Instead of investigating or trying to find the source, I just sat there, completely still, completely silent, waiting for 11:34 p.m. I turned off all my devices. No TV, no music, no phone. Just me sitting in my living room in the dark, listening. 11:30 p.m. rolled around. My apartment was so quiet I could hear my own heartbeat. 11:32 p.m. I held my breath without meaning to. 11:34 p.m. Tap, tap, tap. There it was, clear as day, coming from somewhere near my bookshelf. But here's where it gets weird. I stayed silent, didn't move, didn't make a sound, just listened. About 30 seconds passed. Then, tap, tap, tap. Again. Same pattern, same rhythm. I kept waiting. Another 30 seconds. Tap, tap, tap. It was like it was checking. Like it was waiting for me to respond or make noise or do something. So I did something I immediately regretted. I tapped back 3 times on the arm of my couch. Tap, tap, tap. The apartment went completely silent. Not just the tapping. Everything. It felt like the ambient noise just died. Like someone had hit a mute button on reality, and then, after what felt like an eternity but was probably only 10 seconds, tap, 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 tap. 4 taps. Not 3. 4. I didn't sleep last night. I kept all the lights on, played music through my speakers, made sure there was constant noise in my apartment. Because I don't know what I did by responding. And I don't know what 4 taps means. But it felt like I'd just changed something. Like I'd acknowledged something that was better left ignored. Has anyone else experienced this? Is this normal for old buildings? Please tell me this is normal. The post had 127 comments when I first read it. By the time I finished reading them all, there were 189. People were sharing their own experiences, their own patterns of unexplained sounds that only happen during silence. And the more I read, the more I realized this wasn't isolated to one person or one building. Someone in the comments wrote, "I've been hearing something similar for months. Not tapping though. For me, it's a low hum. Like someone humming a tune just quiet enough that I can't make out the melody. Only happens when I'm alone and quiet. I thought I was going crazy. Another person. Mine is footsteps. Soft footsteps like someone walking in socks on carpet. But I live alone and I have hardwood floors. I hear them most clearly around midnight. Always the same path. From my bedroom door to my window. Then they stop. Someone else. I have scratching. Inside the walls. My landlord checked for mice or rats but found nothing. The exterminator found nothing. But I hear it every night when I turn off the TV to go to sleep. Scratch. 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 Then silence. Then 3 more scratches. It's always groups of 3. That comment made me go back and reread the original post. 3 taps. Always 3. I scrolled through more comments. More people describing sounds that came in patterns of 3. 3 knocks. 3 creaks. 3 clicks. Over and over. Different sounds but the same number. And then I found a comment that made my skin crawl. It was from someone who claimed to be an audio engineer. They wrote, "I know this is going to sound insane, but I need you to consider something. Sound doesn't just exist. It's created. It requires a source. Vibration. Movement. Energy. When you hear something, it means something moved. Something caused a disturbance in the air. So when you hear tapping and there's no visible source, there are only a few explanations. 1. The source is hidden. Inside walls, under floors, in spaces you can't see. 2. The source is so small or so subtle that you can't identify it. 3. You're experiencing auditory hallucinations. Or 4. Something is creating sound deliberately. Intentionally. And if it's only happening when you're silent, that means it's responding to your behavior. It's aware of you. It's listening for you. And when you tapped back, you confirmed something for it. You confirmed that you can hear it, that you're paying attention, that you're listening. You opened a channel of communication. And now it knows. The original poster replied to that comment at 11:41 p.m. I think you're right. I think I made a mistake. It's happening again right now as I type this. But it's different tonight. It's not tapping anymore. It's knocking. Louder. More insistent. And it's not coming from one place. It's moving around the apartment. I just heard it from the bathroom. Then from the kitchen. Then from right behind where I'm sitting. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should respond again or stay silent or leave or what. I'm genuinely scared. Someone in the comments told them to record it, to use their phone and capture audio evidence. The original poster replied, I tried. I've been trying to record it for the past week. But every time I hit record, the sound stops. Completely. The second I stop recording, it starts again. It's like it knows. That comment was posted at 11:47 p.m. Then nothing. No more replies from the original poster. The comment section kept growing, people offering advice and theories and their own experiences, but the person who started the thread went silent. For 3 days, there was nothing. People started getting worried. Some commenters joked that they'd angered whatever was making the sounds. Others suggested calling for a wellness check. Then, on the 4th day, a new comment appeared from the original poster. It was time-stamped 11:34 p.m. I need to correct something I said. I said it only happens when I'm silent. That's not entirely accurate. It happens when I stop making noise. When I transition from sound to silence. That's when it responds. Like it's been waiting for me to stop. Waiting for its turn. I've been testing this for the past 3 days. Making noise and then suddenly stopping. And every single time, within seconds, tap, 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 or knocking, or scratching, whatever form it's taking that day. It's not random. It's reactive. It's a response. The comment continued, I think I understand now what's happening. I think there's something in this apartment that exists in the silence. In the gaps between sounds. And when I make noise, I'm taking up space. I'm filling the auditory space so there's no room for it. But the moment I stop, the moment I create silence, I'm making room. And it fills that room. It takes its turn. And the reason it's getting louder, the reason it's changing from tapping to knocking to whatever comes next, is because I acknowledged it. I responded. I showed it that I'm aware. And now it's trying harder to communicate. Or maybe not communicate. Maybe just to be noticed. To confirm that it's there. That it's real. I don't know how to make it stop. I've tried leaving the apartment for hours at a time. But when I come back and the space is silent, it starts again. I've tried playing white noise constantly. But I can't sleep with noise playing all night, and the moment I turn it off, tired. I'm so tired. I haven't slept properly in days, and I'm starting to hear it even when there should be other sounds covering it. Like it's getting louder. Stronger. More present. Someone help me. Please. That was the last comment from the original poster on that thread. I checked every day for a week. Nothing. The account went dormant. Other people kept commenting, but the original voice, the person living through this, just vanished. I tried to convince myself it was creative writing. An elaborate story. Good creepypasta. But something about it stuck with me. Maybe it was the detail. The specificity. The way they described the progression. Or maybe it was the fact that after reading that post, I started noticing sounds in my own apartment that I'd never paid attention to before. Little things. Background noise that I'd always filtered out. And I started to wonder, what else am I filtering out? What else is my brain hiding from me because it doesn't think I need to know I live alone too? Small apartment. Old building. Lots of ambient noise that I've learned to ignore. Pipes. Neighbors. Traffic. The HVAC system. Normal stuff. Except now I'm listening. Really listening. And I'm noticing things. There's a creak. In my bedroom. Near the closet. It happens every night around 11:30 p.m. I'd never noticed it before because I'm usually watching TV or listening to music or on my phone. But now that I'm paying attention, now that I'm creating silence specifically to listen, I hear it. Every night. Same time. Same location. Same sound. Creak. Long and slow. Like weight shifting. Like someone standing up carefully, trying not to make noise but failing. I told myself it's the building. Old wood settling. Temperature changes. Foundation shifting. All the rational explanations. But here's the thing that bothers me. My apartment is only 2 years old. This building is new construction. There shouldn't be settling noises. There shouldn't be creaking wood because most of the structure is concrete and steel. So what's making that sound? I started doing what the Reddit poster did. Creating silence deliberately. Turning off everything. Sitting still. Listening. And the creak happens right on schedule. 11:31 p.m. Every single night. But last night, I noticed something new. After the initial creak, if I stay silent, there's another sound. Softer. Fainter. Like fabric brushing against fabric. Or something sliding across carpet. It lasts for maybe 3 seconds. Then stops. Then if I continue to stay silent, it happens again. The same sound. The same duration. Like something is moving in a pattern. Like it's pacing. I know how insane this sounds. I know. But I can't unhear it now. And worse, I'm starting to anticipate it. Starting to wait for it. I catch myself going silent around 11:30 p.m. just to see if it'll happen. Just to confirm I'm not imagining it. 2 nights ago, I did something stupid. I did what the Reddit poster did. I responded. Not with sound though. I didn't want to tap back or knock. Instead, I walked over to my closet. The closet where the creak seems to originate. I opened the door. Nothing inside except my clothes and some storage boxes. Everything normal. But the moment I closed the door and stepped back, creak. From inside the closet. Like something had just stood up. Right where I'd been looking seconds before. I stood there frozen. Heart pounding. Staring at my closed closet door. And then I heard it. That fabric brushing sound. But louder now. More distinct. Coming from inside the closet. Moving. I didn't open the door again. I turned on every light in my apartment. Put on music. Watched TV until I passed out from exhaustion around 4 a.m. When I woke up the next morning, everything seemed normal. Daylight makes things feel less threatening. I opened the closet again. Still nothing unusual. Just my stuff. But I noticed something I hadn't before. There was a small mark on the carpet inside the closet. Like a scuff mark. Or a drag mark. About 2 feet long. Faint, but there. I don't remember that being there before. And I have no idea what could have caused it. Last night, I decided to do something more methodical. I set up my phone to record audio. Put it in the bedroom. Started recording at 11:20 p.m. Then I went to my living room and did normal things. Watched TV. Played on my phone. Made noise. At 11:29 p.m., I muted the TV. Put down my phone. Sat in complete silence. Listened. 11:31 p.m. Creak. I stayed silent. Didn't move. Just breathe as quietly as possible. 30 seconds later, that fabric brushing sound. Then silence. Then 3 distinct sounds. Tap. 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 But not from the closet this time. From the bedroom doorway. Like something had moved from the closet to the hall. Like it was getting closer. I grabbed my phone and checked the recording. Stopped it. Immediately played it back. The audio was clean. No static. No interference. I could hear the ambient noise of my apartment. The distant hum of the refrigerator. A car passing outside. Then at the timestamp where I'd gone silent, nothing. The audio just goes dead quiet. Not naturally quiet, but completely silent. like the microphone had stopped working. For exactly 42 seconds, there's no sound on the recording. None. Then it kicks back in. Normal ambient noise returns. And I can hear my own breathing. Harsh and fast. Panicked breathing. But I don't remember panicking. I remember sitting there calmly, listening. But on the recording, I sound terrified. I checked the time code. Those 42 seconds of silence correspond exactly to the period when I heard the creak, the fabric sound, and the tapping. My phone was recording. The file isn't corrupted. It just captured complete silence during the exact moments when I was hearing distinct, clear sounds. That's not possible. Either my phone malfunctioned in a very specific way at a very specific time, or the sounds I'm hearing aren't real sounds. They're not creating vibrations in the air that a microphone can pick up. Or, and this is the possibility that terrifies me, they're only meant for me. They're somehow directing sound in a way that only I can hear. Only my ears. Not recording devices. I went back to that Reddit thread. Started reading through old comments I'd skipped before. Looking for explanations. Looking for similar experiences. And I found something that made me close my laptop and consider burning my phone. It was a comment thread buried deep in the replies. Someone had asked, has anyone who experienced these sounds ever actually seen anything like visual confirmation of a source? The replies were mostly no. People hearing things but never seeing anything unusual. Except for one response. One person who claimed they'd finally seen what was making their sounds. They wrote, I'm only going to say this once and then I'm deleting my account because I don't want to think about this anymore. After 3 months of hearing scratching sounds in my apartment, I finally saw what was causing them. It was nothing. And I mean that literally. When I looked directly at where the sound was coming from, there was nothing there. Empty space. But in my peripheral vision, when I wasn't looking directly at it, I could see something. A shape. Dark. Fluid. Like a shadow that was slightly too dark for the lighting in the room. It was crouched in the corner near my bookshelf. And it was moving its hand, well, what looked like a hand, across the wall, creating the scratching sound. I turned to look at it directly and it vanished. Completely. Gone. But the scratching continued. I could still hear it. Still happening. Still coming from that exact corner. But nothing visible. I moved out the next day. Broke my lease. Paid the penalty. I don't care. I will never live alone again. Because here's what I realized. It was always there. The entire 3 months. Maybe longer. Maybe since I moved in. I just couldn't see it. And it was scratching not to scare me, but to make me aware. To make me acknowledge that it existed. That it was sharing the space. And once I did, once I finally saw it, even just in my peripheral vision, it knew. It knew I knew. And that's when things got worse. That's when the scratching started happening during the day. When I could hear footsteps. When I could feel cold spots in rooms that shouldn't be cold. When I started finding things moved. Not big things. Small things. A book turned at a different angle. A cup moved 6 inches to the left. Little confirmations that I wasn't alone. That it was still there. Still present. Still watching. So I left. And I'm never going back. That comment was posted 2 years ago. I checked the username. Account deleted. No post history. No way to verify if it was real or just a good story. But it didn't matter. Because that night, I started noticing something in my own apartment. In my peripheral vision. When I'm not looking directly. A darkness, just slightly too dark. Near the closet in my bedroom. I haven't looked at it directly yet. I'm too afraid of what I'll see. Or what I won't see. Because if I look and there's nothing there, but I can still sense it, still see it in my periphery, still hear the sounds, then I'll know for certain. I'll know that whatever this is, it's not bound by normal rules. It's not a rodent in the walls or pipe settling or auditory hallucinations. It's something else. Something that exists in the spaces we don't pay attention to. The corners of our vision. The silence between sounds. The gaps in our awareness. And once you notice it, once you acknowledge it, it notices you back. It's 11:26 p.m. right now as I write this. 4 minutes until the creak happens. I've made a decision. I'm going to do what the Reddit poster did. I'm going to respond. Not to confirm I can hear it, but to tell it to stop. To make it clear that I don't want this communication. That I want to go back to filtering it out. To not noticing. I don't know if that's possible. I don't know if once you've opened this door, you can close it again. But I have to try. Because I can't live like this. Constantly listening. Constantly waiting. Constantly aware of something in my space that I can't see or explain or make sense of. 11:29 p.m. I'm turning off my music. Putting down my phone. Creating silence. 11:30 p.m. My apartment is so quiet I can hear my own pulse. 11:31 p.m. There it is. Creak. Right on schedule. I'm not moving. Not making a sound. Waiting. There's the fabric sound. Closer tonight. Definitely closer. It's in the doorway. I can sense it even though I'm not looking. It's there. Waiting for me. Listening to me the same way I've been listening to it. Here goes. I'm speaking out loud. Saying it clearly. I know you're there. I hear you. But I don't want to hear you anymore. Please stop. Please leave me alone. Please just go back to being something I don't notice. Silence. Complete and total silence. Not even ambient noise. Just nothing. My ears are ringing from how quiet it is. And then, tap. 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 4 taps. Not 3. 4. Just like the Reddit poster. Just like what happened when they responded. I've made a mistake. I know I have. Because whatever this is, it doesn't want to stop. It doesn't want to be ignored. It wants to be heard. To be acknowledged. To be known. And I just gave it exactly what it wanted. It's 11:37 p.m. now. The sounds haven't stopped. They're constant now. Tapping. Creaking. That fabric sound. All happening simultaneously. From multiple locations. The closet. The doorway. Behind me. I'm sitting here typing this with every light on and music playing, and I can still hear it. Over everything. Through everything. Like it's not coming from outside anymore. Like it's coming from inside my head. I need to leave. I know I do. But I'm paralyzed. Because I just realized something. I just understood what the Reddit poster figured out too late. It's not that the sounds only happen when I'm silent. It's that I only notice them when I'm silent. They've been happening the entire time. every moment of every day. In the background, underneath everything else. Constant. Perpetual. Endless. I just wasn't listening. My brain was filtering it out, protecting me from the truth. And the truth is this: I've never been alone in this apartment. Not for a single second. Whatever this is, it's been here the whole time. In the silence beneath the noise. In the space I'm not paying attention to. And now that I've noticed it, now that I've listened, now that I've acknowledged it, I can't unnotice it. I can't go back to filtering it out. It's too loud now. Too present. Too real. I'm going to post this and then I'm leaving. I don't know where I'll go. A hotel maybe. A friend's place. Anywhere but here. But I have a horrible feeling that it won't matter. That wherever I go, I'll still hear it. Because it's not attached to this apartment. It's attached to me. To my awareness. I invited it in the moment I started listening. The moment I created silence and waited for a response. And it answered. It's 11:41 p.m. I can see it now. Not in my peripheral vision anymore. Directly. Right in front of me. Between me and my bedroom door. A shape. Dark and fluid and wrong. It's not moving, but I can tell it's aware of me. Looking at me. Even though it has nothing that resembles ice. I'm going to hit post on this and then I'm going to walk past it. I'm going to leave. I'm going to run if I have to. If you're reading this and you've been experiencing unexplained sounds, if you've been noticing patterns in the silence, please, don't respond. Don't acknowledge it. Don't do what I did. Don't do what that Reddit poster did. Just leave. Make noise constantly. Fill every silence with something. Never let the gaps appear. Because something lives in those gaps. And once it knows you're listening, it will never stop talking. It's 11:43 p.m. I'm walking toward the door now. It's still there. Still standing between me and the exit. But it's not blocking me. It's just watching. Waiting. I can hear the tapping. Tap. 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 4 taps. My phone is in my hand. I'm posting this from mobile as I walk. My keys are in my other hand. I'm 5 feet from the door. 3 feet. I'm reaching for the doorknob. The tapping is so loud now. Not just 4 taps. Constant tapping. Dozens of taps. Hundreds. Like applause. Like celebration. Like it's happy I'm leaving. Or maybe not happy I'm leaving. Maybe happy that I finally see it. That I finally acknowledge its existence. That I'm running scared. That I understand. 2 feet from the door. I can smell something. Something wrong. Like old paper and stagnant water and something else I can't identify. Something organic and ancient and patient. 1 foot from the door. My hand is on the knob. The tapping has stopped. Everything has stopped. Complete silence again. That impossible, suffocating silence. I'm turning the knob. The door isn't opening. It's locked. But I didn't lock it. I never lock it from the inside. I'm unlocking it. The deadbolt is stiff. Won't turn. I'm forcing it. It's finally turning. The door is opening. I'm stepping through. The hallway is dark. All the lights are off. They're always on in this building. Always. But they're off now. The tapping has started again. But it's not coming from my apartment anymore. It's coming from down the hall, from all the other apartments. Tap, 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 tap. From every door, every wall, surrounding me. I was wrong. It's not attached to me. It's not attached to my apartment. It's everywhere. In every space, every silence, every gap. We just don't notice it. We filter it out. We protect ourselves from knowing. But now I know. And I can never unknown. I can never go back to not hearing it. I'm in the stairwell now. Running down. The tapping is following. Echoing. Getting louder with each floor I descend. I'm on the ground floor. Pushing through the exit door. Outside. The street is empty. It's late. Past midnight now. I check my phone. 12:03 a.m. I've been in the stairwell for 20 minutes. But it felt like seconds. Time is wrong. Everything is wrong. The street is quiet. No traffic. No people. Just silence. That terrible, waiting silence. And then, tap, tap, tap. From the building behind me. From the buildings across the street. From the pavement beneath my feet. It's everywhere. In everything. And I realize now why the Reddit poster never updated again. Why they went silent after those final comments. Because there's nowhere to go. Nowhere to run. Once you've heard it, once you've listened, once you've acknowledged the sound in the silence, you carry it with you. You become part of it. Part of the pattern. Part of the response. I'm walking now. Don't know where. Just away. But I can still hear it. With every step. With every breath. In every moment between moments. Tap. 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 Constant. Eternal. Waiting. I'm going to stop updating now. Not because I've found safety. Not because it's stopped. But because there's nothing left to say. If you're reading this, do yourself a favor. Make noise. Constant noise. Music. Television. Conversation. Anything. Fill every silence. Never let the gaps appear. Because something lives in the silence. And it's listening for you. It's waiting for you to listen back. And once you do, once you hear it, once you acknowledge it, you'll never stop hearing it. You'll never experience true silence again. Because silence isn't empty. It never was. We just convinced ourselves it was. We filtered it out. Protected ourselves from the truth. But the truth is patient. The truth is persistent. The truth lives in the spaces between sounds. And it's waiting for you to stop making noise. It's waiting for you to listen. So please, don't do what I did. Don't do what that Reddit poster did. Don't create silence and wait for a response. Because you will get one, and you will never be able to unhear it. I don't hear the tapping anymore. But that's worse somehow. Because now the silence feels wrong. It feels occupied. It feels like something is in here with me, in this silence, waiting. Not tapping. Not making sound. Just being. Just existing. Just cheering the space. And I can feel it. Even though I can't hear it, I can feel it watching. Listening. Existing in the same space I'm existing in. Breathing the same air. occupying the same moment. And I finally understand what that deleted commenter meant. What the Reddit poster learned too late. It's not about the sounds. It's never been about the sounds. The sounds are just how it announces itself, how it makes itself known. But once you're aware, once you truly listen, you realize the sounds were never the problem. The silence is. The silence where it lives. Where it's always lived. Where it will always live. Waiting for the next person to stop making noise. To listen. To notice. To know. I'm ending this now. Not because I'm safe, but because I finally understand. And understanding is worse than fear. Understanding is final. I know what lives in the silence. And I know I'll never escape it. Neither will you. Not really. Because it's always been there. In your apartment. In your house. In every space you've ever occupied. You just haven't been listening. Yet. But you will. Eventually, you'll get curious. You'll create silence. You'll wait. You'll listen. And when you do, when you finally hear it, when you finally know what I know, you'll remember this post. You'll remember this warning. And you'll realize it's too late. Just like it's too late for me. Just like it was too late for that Reddit poster. Just like it will be too late for you. The silence is waiting. And so is everything that lives inside it.